Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is February the 22nd. This is the second video today. This is the Hasbro tournament. This is going to be the Series 7 or Round 1 Series 7. So today we got three matchups. Since I did a one-on-one battle with three winners in Series 6, I'm going to do the same thing this time around. So that way it does kind of keep it balanced out. So today we are going to feature matchups featuring Crush doing battle against Kamala. We've got Nails against Owen Hart, and we got Shawn Michaels going up against Razor Ramon. So we are going to dive right into the first matchup. So Crush is one of those very few figures that has three or more figures. So he came out in Series 2 initially as a member of Demolition. He was part of a 2-pack with Smash, and he was released on single card as Kona Crush. It obviously is a much different body type than you would see in the very first version. And this same exact figure was re-released in Series 11, but they gave him a purple evil version, what they refer to as either Purple Crush or Evil Crush, as the bad guy. So still same exact figure, just a repaint. So again, one of three figures. I think it was four figures that comes out with three or more figures. Now it has to be more than that because Ted DiBiase had three figures, Hulk Hogan had four figures, Macho Man had four figures, Ultimate Warrior had three figures. Trying to think who else had three or more figures. So Crush had three figures. I think that was it. Because I think anyone else had two figures, like Mr. Perfect, Undertaker, Yokozuna, Bret Hart. I think they all had two figures. So yeah, just one of a handful of characters come out with three figures. Absolutely beautiful figure. Not too many figures with this mold. I think Scott Steiner was probably the only other one with this figure, with this pose, if I can recall. I'm trying to remember if there was any others that came up with this. Maybe one other character. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. But overall design of the Kona Crush figure is an absolute beauty. I actually inquired with Random Treasures months and months ago to see if they could actually do a three faces of Crush, and they said they were on it, but I actually think that was actually towards early last year, and that just never happened. I never heard back anything regarding whether or not that was still on the itinerary. So I went to my buddy Eric recently, and my buddy Eric Boyer, wrestling writer, and I've commissioned him, and he is actually going to give me the three faces of Crush. So he's going to give me a Demolition Crush as LJN, Kona, and Evil Crush, all as LJN figures. So, man, you want to talk about excitement, and you guys all seen his work. His stuff is amazing, and I'm really looking forward to that. But enough about the LJN. Back to the tournament. Kona Crush going against... I am going to pause for a moment here while I add on the accessories. Like I said, the accessories are just absolutely killer. So I'm going to have to hold these into place. I mean, these are more something that you want to hold on to the figure while they're stationary. This isn't something that you would, have to keep, while you're moving with it. I mean, look at that. My buddy Raheem Sadru, again, he's a customizer from the UK that I buy from. The last year and a half, couple years. Yeah, just about the last year or so. Anyways, from him I got this spear, which is absolutely amazing. Again, when it's sitting in the display case, it looks really good. You have this basically sitting on the ground, and it's in his hand, so it displays really well. With an awesome mask and face and shield. That is so freaking awesome, guys. I swear to God, his work is elite. In the last video, I talked about the body pose of Ric Flair. And I also brought up the body pose of Kamala. So everybody, myself included, complains about Kamala and the fused legs. Now, nobody is a fan of the fused legs. Whoever designed this figure and designed any of the figures with fused legs, what was going through their mind, we have no idea. And it's not just the fused legs, but obviously this, the little action feature where you push down, the head pops up, and then, they kind of, jump and, tackle the other wrestler, what have you. Obviously, Kamala isn't like the Rockers. The Rockers would be a perfect example to use that feature, but he's not jumping off the top turnbuckle or anything like that. So this would be a terrible figure to use for that feature. But I was thinking about this figure for a long while, and I'm like, who could they have possibly used as a replacement if they never used the fused legs? And obviously the go-to answer could have been, well, what about Bam Bam Bigelow / Earthquake / Typhoon? They all have the same body type. Why not go there as well? I'm like, well, you got 3 figures. Why, you could have had a 4th one, but that's too obvious. They don't stand particularly well, so I want someone a little bit better. Someone like someone who has a good fighting pose, who has a good stance, and Jim Duggan obviously is one of my go-tos because of the fightability, playability, and all that. But I really couldn't come up with a good answer to really fit a Kamala, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe this pose works a little bit better than any of us really give it credit for. Give it credit. So, you guys have a better answer. I'd love to hear it. Obviously, we'd love to see the legs spread some, but Bret Hart, obviously he has a good, depth to the legs and good spacing between legs. It would be a good answer. Undertaker, someone like that, but would this upper body fit really well on that lower legs? I don't know. But otherwise, if you eliminate this bottom part and just look at the top part there, as an overall figure, that is the beauty. Don't take anything away from this figure. This is a fantastic figure. Kamala from LJN, perfect figure. Kamala from Hasbro, maybe not perfect, but it is an absolutely phenomenal figure. And you look at the Kamala from the Legends Professional Wrestling, even Jack's Classic Super, Kamala, they always do him justice. He always gets some really, truly fantastic figures in. He is such a fantastic figure, and I love his accessories, but to me, the Kona Crush isn't just a great figure. To me, it's an elite figure. Has to be one of the top 20 best Hasbro figures ever made. I love the Kamala figure. I just can't push him past Kona Crush. Crush is going to move on to round 2 for this matchup. The next matchup is going to feature Nails going against Owen Hart. So we will start with Nails. I actually wouldn't mind seeing Kamala on his body, because his legs are kind of thin, kind of small. But I think his legs are spread far apart enough to the point where it makes it a little bit better. Because he even has like a big upper body. He's not chunky, but he's a little bit heftier, so it could work. For whatever reason, I'm really digging the whole prison outfit and everything of the character. So the whole beef with Nails was, the whole spew was he was under Big Boss Man. He was an inmate, and Big Boss Man was his prison guard. So he gets out of prison, and he's got a beef with Big Boss Man. I think I remember Nails as a kid. It would make sense. I was watching wrestling at that time, but memory is like fades for me. Long-term memory, not that great. Short-term memory for me is trash. But all I can say is I absolutely love the Nails figure. To me, again, if not a top 20, has to be a top 25 figure for me. For a line that came out with over 90 figures to be a top 25 has to put you in, if not elite status, at least top tier. It's just an absolute beauty all around, and it's very simple. It's not like major color scheme. The whole spew of the whole release from prison. I mean, you're not going to be keeping the prison outfit, and if you are, you're not going to be wearing that. It's like think soldiers. When soldiers get out of the military, whether they ETS out of the army, the discharge, otherwise, the last thing they're doing is suiting up and walking around the neighborhood wearing their military uniform. So when you see this, and I'm not saying walking around with like BDU pants on with like a black shirt or something, who cares if you're wearing, BDU pants, because a lot of people, they go hunting or whatever, and, they're woodland camouflage. So people get called out for that. Who cares? Not a big deal there. But, like, if people go into stores wearing a uniform, like, oh, well, I had nothing else to wear. What? Like, I watch stories on YouTube about that, like, idiots. It makes no sense. Actual soldiers do not. The last thing we want to do is wear our freaking uniform after we get out of military service. Anyways, same thing here. The last thing you want to do is wear this jumpsuit after you get out of prison, right? But I mean, still, it's to me, it's just a fun little trinket, I think, to put on with this character. I like the backstory of him choking the heck out of Vince McMahon and basically getting banned from the WWF. Getting fired and losing your job because you choked out the boss. Kind of stupid. I mean, every man's dream, I'm sure, but stupid. Owen Hart. One of the most popular Hasbro figures and one of the most valuable. Generally, you're probably looking at like maybe a $75 figure right here. Nowadays, I don't know. I know when I used to be bidding on this thing used to go up north of $50 easy. Yet when I try to sell this thing, I put them with Jim Neidhart for like $75. Drop it to like 65, 55, and had a hard time selling it. So I don't know what it would go for nowadays, but great figure. Again, the one low. Overall look of it isn't bad. I mean, the face, it's Jimmy Hart. All right, Jimmy Hart. Owen Hart. Jimmy. The Rocket, Jimmy Hart. This right here, to me, the color scheme is more like when he tag teamed with Coco Beware, more so than, his tag team with Jim Neidhart. But again, the Rocket whole, I mean, it meshes well with what Jim Neidhart wears in Series 5, so they all mesh well together anyways. To me, Owen Hart and Coco Beware was a terrible tag team. Owen Hart, decent wrestler, not super megastar. I think he was Intercontinental Champion worthy. Coco Beware to me was jobberish, or just above a jobber. Not crazy, like fan favorite, sure, but not a superstar. Owen Hart, great figure. Nails, love the figure. You know what? I think I'm going to shock a lot of people with this one. I think I'm going with Nails on this one. When I put these two together, I honestly had no idea which way I'd go. I thought maybe I would lean towards Owen Hart, but I'm really liking Nails, and I think I'm gonna stick with Nails defeating Owen Hart. So that is going to bring us up to our final matchup, which will feature Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon. Scott Hall. I can't believe this man's been gone almost a year now. I can't remember when he passed. Let's see. It had to be early or mid 2022, right? That's crazy how long I've been home. Shoot. Yeah, because I got home at the end of January 2022, and I mean, time's just flown by. Wow. But this is an absolutely beautiful figure, and again, the one arm with the whole arm, it's okay. It's not bad. Beautiful figure. One of his best, absolutely. I mean, he didn't have an LJN. His Remco figure with the mustache, I'm not a huge fan of. It's a very plain, simple Remco figure. Do I have him on Jack's Classic Superstars? Yes, I did. I did buy one, I'm sure. I probably have one or two. But it doesn't matter. I do believe that the Hasbro Razor Ramon is no doubt the best action figure that they've ever come out with for Razor Ramon, for any Scott Hall figure. I do have a few different versions of him on original San Francisco. So, but again, this is it. This is the Razor Ramon. Any Scott Hall figure you could think of, this is it. This is the one right here from Random Treasures. I don't know if you can see it. It's okay. It's a good figure. It's not the best, but it's not a bad figure. But again, the Hasbro, it really does justice for this character. I think I prefer the purple better than the black and red, even though I do like dual colors a little bit better. But they're still great figures overall. And of course the white pants. So this is probably Shawn Michaels' most popular color scheme. Heartbreak Kid. So Shawn Michaels. When I think Shawn Michaels, especially in the early 90s, my oldest memory is not the Rockers headlining any WrestleMania or Royal Rumble. Not them, winning all of these tag team matchups. It will always be him, dropping, kicking Margin Day in the face, right in front of Bruce Beefcake, and then throwing him through the barbershop window. That will always be my biggest memory of Shawn Michaels. And to think that how much as a kid, how much I hated him for that, and how long I hated him as a kid. And, we're talking less than 10 years later. Not even that long. I mean, when did it happen? Like 1990, 91, 92, somewhere in that time frame. Probably within 3 to 5 years, Shawn Michaels probably at that point had gone down as like my number 4 or 5 all-time favorite wrestler. I always said Hulk Hogan is always going to be number 1. Warrior was always going to be number 2. Macho Man will always be number 3. I'd probably put Bret Hart and Undertaker at 4 and 5. So Michaels will probably be at number 6. Absolutely perfect figure. The look of the figure is fantastic. The color is fantastic. He's got this Macho Man Series 1 fighting pose. The gloves, the tattoo, everything on this is great. The black pants Shawn Michaels was on my top 10 list of all-time greatest Hasbro figures, but, of course, the white pants had to make a special appearance with a special shout-out. Because, again, it's just a repaint, but perfect figure. They're both perfect figures. There's really no wrong answer with either one. I am going to pick Shawn Michaels. I mean, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Shawn Michaels is the better figure. It sucks to lose a Razor Ramon this early in the competition, but come on. Shawn Michaels, like I said, if we're if it weren't for the Black Pants version, this would have been the number 2 or number 3 best Hasbro figure all the time. But because I do consider the Black Pant variant, let's say Black Pant variant at 3A, I would say this would be like 3B. I don't say Black Pants 3 and then this one 4, nothing like that. So I don't go too crazy like that. So, all right. So recap: Crush defeated Kamala. Nails defeated Owen Hart, and Shawn Michaels just defeated Razor Ramon. So the next video is going to feature Bret Hart squaring off against the narcissist Lex Luger. Undertaker is going to face the second version of Mr. Perfect, and Yokozuna is going to square off against Bam Bam Bigelow. Alright, I will also make that video today, as a matter of fact, right after I make this video. And, yeah, so again, today is the 22nd of February. I'm going to post the last video, Series 6. I'm going to post that tonight, and this video will be posted tomorrow, and then the next video, Series 8, will be posted on the 24th. So I'll have these all posted back to back. That way you guys aren't waiting, several days in between. I'm not going to worry about 100 views per video to post a video. I want to get these out as quickly as possible for you guys, because I know you guys have been waiting patiently for like 2 months. Well, maybe not that long. It feels like 2 months for me because it's been that long since I made a video, but not so long since I posted that said video. All right, thank you for watching, everyone, and I will talk to you in the comments. Goodbye for now.